Okay, so now we're going to move on to talking about Hellenistic art under Roman patronage. So in the early 2nd century BCE, the Romans actually defeated the Macedonians and then declared Greece free once again. But Greece never really fully regained its glory that it once had. And in 146 BCE, Greece actually became a Greek province. And in Rome, Greek art continued to be in great demand. The Greeks were huge influences of the Roman culture, and Greek artists either made copies of classical and Hellenistic masterpieces, and sometimes they even created new sculptures for Roman patrons during this time. So we'll take a look at some of those. I'll make this larger. It'll load. So here's a piece by Athenodorus, Hegesandros, and Polydoros of Rhodes. This is Lacoon and his sons from Rome, Italy, 1st century CE, marble 7 feet 10.5 inches high. So this is a quite famous sculpture. It was actually unearthed in Rome in 1506, and it was in the remains of the palace of the Roman Emperor Titus. And it's thought to be a copy of a Hellenistic masterpiece that depicted Lacoon and just one son. So this later copy, the Greek sculptors are still doing it. It's still being sculpted by Greek sculptors, but they're doing it under Roman patronage. And this is when they made the copy, they added in the sun at Lacoon's left to match the Roman poet Virgil's account in his legendary work of literature called the Aeneid. So Virgil actually told the story of Lacoon and his 2 sons in the Aeneid, and they were violently strangled by sea serpents. As you can see, they are being strangled by sea serpents in this. And the gods actually favored the Greeks and sent the serpents to strangle Lacoon and his 2 sons for having tried to warn the Trojans during the Trojan War that they shouldn't let the wooden horse into the walls of Troy. So the gods actually punished them by strangling them with serpents. And these figures are actually struggling in pain to free themselves. There's a lot of movement. One bites into Lacoon's left hip, and he's crying out. And the violent movement and emotional intensity is really a characteristic of Hellenistic sculpture. And it's definitely present in this piece. Even though it's a later copy where they added a figure even, it still has that high intensity of emotion and movement present. So here's another sculpture of the head of Odysseus from the Villa of Tiberius from Sperlonga, Italy, early 1st century CE, 2 feet 1 1/4 inches high, and it was found in a villa owned by the Emperor Tiberius in Italy, and it was installed around a central pool on the grounds, and it depicted the blinding of the Cyclops by Odysseus, and this is considered one of the finest sculptures of antiquity. He has these swirling locks of hair. His beard is even displaying emotional intensity with the swirling hair, and his lips are parted, and there's this deep shadows in his brow, and there's a lot of drama in his expression. So that is kind of the end of the chapter. And when Rome inherited the Greek Empire, it also became heir to the Greek artistic legacy, and Rome adopted a lot of the artistic ideas from the Greeks and then passed it on to the rest of the world. So Greece was definitely the innovator, but Rome kind of became the propagator and the amplifier of the Greek artistic ideas, and they were deeply influenced by Greek art and culture. And if we're going to start looking at Roman art next week, and you will see that they're very similar cultures.